My name is Ronald Dosunmu. I'm a 17-year-old full-stack software engineer. I am currently a student of Covenant University and a backend engineering student at School, Africa. Okay, so I think the very first time I wrote my first line of code was in JS1, which was, 7 years ago. And I remember the reason I started was because during my holidays, I didn't want to be idle. Like most of my friends at that time, they were going to each other's houses and playing games, going to more. And I was just like, I think I want to start something. And I didn't know what it was. So I kind of started trying many things. And I stumbled upon Python. So Python was the very first programming language I learned. And I liked it. You write a few lines of code and the computer does something. So it was very interesting to see that I could tell a computer to do something and it could actually do something. So from Python, one thing, I wasn't too consistent when I started because I just realized that it was actually difficult for somebody that's like 10, 11 years old to learn and understand all these concepts. So what I was doing was I started and I was consistent for a bit, then I stopped because there was a particular topic I didn't understand. Then I'll leave it for a while, then I started, then I stopped, then I started, then I stopped. And I was like that till I finally finished everything in Python. I started building projects around SS2. SS2 now, I think I went to White Sand School in Lagos. So my secondary school it kind of helped because we had a programming club. And I was a member of the programming club in both junior secondary school and senior secondary school. In senior secondary school, I was the assistant secretary when I was in SS1. And then I kind of left the coding club to start my own club in school. I found programming club for data science, which is where I kind of shared the knowledge I had gathered over the years with some of my peers. And you learn, well, that didn't go too far because of the whole COVID situation. And the COVID situation even came as a blessing because during COVID, I got like a scholarship, like a mentorship to study data science with a data scientist in the US. I think it was through TechQuest, or I can't remember the name. But yeah, and that was where it sparked my knowledge into data science, AI, machine learning, and I got really good at it. And that was where I decided that, okay, AI, machine learning, and data science is not really what I want to do. So 3 years ago, I started web development properly because one thing about Python is that you're writing a lot of code, but it's not code that people can necessarily use. You're not building products that people can solve, that people can use, except you go into backend development with Django. So I was doing many AI and machine learning. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to build program. So I started in JavaScript. From JavaScript, I learned HTML, I learned CSS, and I learned React. I've dabbled around a lot of things in the web. And yeah, that's a little bit about how I got started in the tech. Okay, so my parents, well, I know when I started, I think they were very supportive in the sense that they were supportive. So I know when I started, I didn't really ask them for courses. I was trying to get courses online for free, using free resources and everything. But when I started actually building things, and they were saying, oh, this guy is actually trying. I asked my dad to pay for a course. My dad paid. I asked my mom for some money for courses. She also gave me the money. And I feel like that was very instrumental to my success so far. Yeah. So they were very supportive. Okay, so right now I have experiences in Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS. I've worked with C++ before, but right now, I work with JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS for the web, and I know a couple of frameworks as well. I know React, Next.js, MongoDB, Redux, GraphQL, Node, Express, And all of these, they are mainly for full stack web development with JavaScript. I learned everything through taking courses online. I never registered for a coding school. I never went physically. I actually don't encourage people to do that because it's more expensive and you can get the courses online. You pay for them and your rate of progress is mainly determined by your dedication to your craft. So I learned everything through taking courses online. I can actually recommend a very good tutor, Good with Mosh. He is the best tutor out there. And he is someone now I'm in university studying computer science. A lot of my friends want to get into tech too, because not everybody started as early as I did. So I always recommend him. His courses are very good. He's teaching how to become a proper software engineer. So yeah, I took online courses. In fact, I remember when I finished my work, I was on my laptop 8 hours a day, up to the point I finally used 8 hours a day. So I'm very hardworking. And I feel like it's something that people have to learn. You know, when you told me now that if you introduce techniques if you teach people how to code, you become internet fraudsters. Yeah. The truth is, I have tried many ways of making money online, and one thing I have learned is that there's no quick way, there's no catch with this thing. You have to work for your money. So rather than how you can start Yahoo or something like that, I just advise you take a year and start your craft, and eventually everything will work out. Yeah. In the future, I definitely want to work at a company like Google, Facebook, Amazon. That's the goal. Before I finish university, at least intern in one of those places. But for now, I feel like I have charted a career path for myself into full stack software engineering. So I have started building my own startup, and I'm working for a few startups now. So yes, I have charted a career path. It's something I want to do for like the next 10, 15 years. So it's more of long term than it is short term. Yes. So the Ingressive for Good Fest in 2021. And I think the next one is starting in like 5 days or so. But last year, I remember I just resumed university, but we didn't stay for too long. We only stayed for 3 weeks. And then I saved my name in a particular way on Telegram because of how students from my university saved their names. And I remember when it was time to pick teams, some students from my university, they contacted me like, oh, we need a developer who does front end. And I was like, I'm a front-end developer. Can I join your team? So all of them were students of Covenant University. And when they kind of interviewed me, because they wanted someone that was good, and I told them I'm actually full stack, I know JavaScript, TypeScript. They're like, bro, you're a boss. So I joined the team, and from there we started building. If I'm being very honest, it was hectic. It was supposed to be 3 days, and we started building the night that they announced that they gave us the problem statement. I remember that I didn't sleep. I was working all night. I was sleeping maybe for like 4 hours or 3 hours a day just to make sure that we get the project. And then when we finished, we're not even too sure that we're going to win or anything, but we're just hopeful. Just put it in God's hands, hoping that everything will come out good. So 2 weeks after that, after we submitted the project, I4G, Ingressive for Good, they just sent us a message that, these 3 teams are the finalists. And we saw our name down like, oh my God. So the name of the product that we built was Transact. So what Transact does, I wasn't going to come up with the idea. It was 5G. So he wasn't a developer on the team, but he was one that wrote all our articles and everything. He said that the inspiration between the product was like, when you register for something like Netflix and you just try to get like the free trial, and all of a sudden you forget 1 month later that you're actually supposed to pay. So there's nothing to remind you that you're supposed to pay. So Transact was basically a product to help you keep track of all your subscriptions so that you never pay for anything you don't want to pay for. And we use the Mono API to kind of access financial accounts, to get records of all your recurrent expenditures. for like the past 6 months. Mono's API was a very good product. I enjoyed working with it. So yeah, the product was exciting. It was an exciting product. I think that was the very first time I made money with tech. We divided the money. So it was small, so it was good. So that was the first time. Yeah. Academically, I will say I think I'm very bright to the glory of the Almighty God. I think secondary school I finished with 8 A1s and a B2 in English. And in university, my first semester here at Commerce University, I got a 5.0 GPA. My second semester, I got a 4.96. So I'll be honest with you, it's very hard managing it with studies, but I'm trying my best to attend classes when I need to attend classes. During my free time, I I work a lot. So but people always ask me how do I manage it with school? And one thing I would say is give whatever deserves the most priority at any given point in time the most priority. Like if I have tests coming up in 5 weeks, all I need to do is pay attention to that. I don't necessarily need to study. So what I do is that 4 weeks before the test, I spend all my time working, reading, and the week before the test, I've paid attention in class. So the lecture material is not too abstract to me. So I quickly use what I have learned from class to easily understand the lecture material. And then when tests come, I walk through exams too. So yeah. So if you want to get started in tech, really, I would first advise you to find out what you like. It's very, very diverse. I mean, there are so many things you could go into, and you don't want to try everything because you don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. So I'll say spend like 2 weeks just watching YouTube videos, what catches my fancy. And once you find that, I will recommend that you go all in, because this career is not something that you can just do half-heartedly. You need to dedicate a lot of your time towards it. So there are many fields. There's AI, there's machine learning, there's cybersecurity, there's web development, there's Linux, there's operating system. It's huge. So if you want to get started with web, you should probably think of learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you want to get started in AI and machine learning, you should probably start with something like Python or R. If you want to get started in cybersecurity, Python should be good. And then take courses on ethical hacking, things like that. So yeah, I would just say find what you like. When you find what you like, buy courses. I will always advise you to invest because you'll pay off eventually. Ask your parents for money. If you don't have money, try and get the courses online for free, or get somebody who has paid for the course and ask that person to give it to you for free. And invest in yourself, take those courses, spend like 3-4 hours a day coding, learning. And then when you have amassed all this knowledge, it's very important to put what you have learned into practice. Start building projects, and then eventually start your own startup. You never know, you can raise millions of dollars in funding and you can be the next Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, start from somewhere. I think that's what I have to say to them. Yeah. So I don't think it stopped my childhood in any way. Like I played games. Right now I don't play games now because I'm a little busy, but I watch movies. I have lots and lots of friends. I have people I talk to. So it depends on what you describe as a childhood. If you mean, I spend time going out with the mall, going to my friends, going partying. No, I didn't, because I knew who I wanted to see myself in 5 years. And I knew that those things were not on my path. They were not going to help me get there. So it's basically all about you and what you choose. There's no perfect definition of childhood. I feel like I had a perfect childhood, if you ask me. Being in my room with my computer, I wouldn't necessarily, because the career is very stressful. But it's important that I always got to rest. I have a brother, an amazing brother. My brother is like my best friend. We talk a lot. So my childhood was pretty nice. I watched a lot of movies, a lot of series. I rested, I relaxed. Yeah, I think I still had good childhood. I didn't miss out on it.